there's no cross connection in that system, of course, your drinking water is going in and mixing in the CO2 machine and causing your soda, right? Most of your CO2 machines have that small cross connection in them. But there's a possibility that that could fail, and someone who lives in an apartment right next door, taking a bath, can get 3rd-degree burns.
From the CO2.
Because it'll backfeed right back into your system.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I was thinking of like hoses.
Throwing water hoses over in a pool will do the exact same thing. If someone opens a hydrant down the system, it will suck that pool water right into. So that's where these ordinances come about. This is why you have to be very particular about it. You know, because, you know, we make water, drinking water, but our number one priority is the health of the citizens.
Let's go to the citizens. A homeowner, somebody just lives on Main Street or Beach, whatever. Do they need to have something like this in their?
Well, there are all different kinds that you can put on. There are things you can put on the hose bibs so that they can throw that over into the pool, that water hose to fill that pool up. You know, if they have a boiler heating system that's pulling water off of your system, it has to have one on it. So once you get into this cross connection control plan, first you want to send out some letters with questionnaires, and even to the state has done that for you. And then all of your citizens and businesses will send it back, and they will answer, you know, I got a pool, I got a boiler, or, you know, whatever and so forth. And then that allows you to go through and start inspecting and getting them lined up for it. Even down to churches and their baptistries have to have backflows on. If you have any landscaping, has to have backflows on. If you go in your bigger cities, you'll see them come up like the ground, you know, and that's what this is, you know. So the state is really, really pushing this. So much so, I know of one municipality already that has been fined because they did not do it. They asked them to do it, and they denied doing it, will not do it, so the state fined them.
What's the cost?
So it depends. It depends on what sizes you got to have.
Give me a range.
A range, all right. So a backflow preventer can be as much as $2,000. It could be $25. So it just depends on the application of where it's going. All right. So your sewer plant has backflow preventers in it. Your water plant has backflow preventers in it. And you have to have those inspected. So it doesn't cover everybody that has to have them, but it does the ones that will be more detrimental to your distribution system.
How do you enforce it?
The ordinance.
But do people go and?
People go and check them, yes, you know. So what will happen is they will, you'll notify them of what has to be done. They go and they get fire sprinkler, for instance. They do inspect those things. So they go and they inspect them. They inspect the backflow cross connection control devices, and they give them, you know, that it was inspected. All right, hang a tag on it, and then the next year they'll do it again. All right, so when they do it, you ask those people, those companies doing it, you know, in your municipality, to send you a copy of it, or you ask the individual or the business to send you a copy of it. That way you have it on record. And even into the regulations, you're required to. So when the state comes and says, hey, you know, this is what's going on, we need to see it, you have it, all right? One thing you have to really be and pay close attention to is that if something happens, you are liable, not the individual, not the business, the town is liable. So, you know, it's a little bit of CYA going on there, you know, by doing it right like that.
This is already a state ordinance.
Yes.
Do we not come under the state ordinances?
My understanding, and if you go through and read the template that they have set up in the regulations, you have to pass it, that ordinance, for it to be followed versus on the state.
We have a whole raft of ordinances that come to us annually, which we accept, but do not put into our code of ordinances.
Yeah.
Is that the case with this as well?
The way I read it and interpreted it, no. You know, it has to come before your council and it has to be passed.
That wasn't what I was asking.
So it can be done two ways under the code. The Virginia code, the administrative code is where this falls, but we have to either adopt it as an ordinance like we would any other ordinance, or we have to adopt it as a policy of the town, and we then assign it to be enforced. So, but it has to be adopted one way or the other. I think what Tony's getting at, it has to be acknowledged and accepted by the council.
I understand.
So, as an ordinance, it's probably overdoing it, but you must then adopt it as a policy of the town. The policy of the town is that to enforce our not only to adopt it, but to then go out and enforce it under the cross connection control program. We formally at some point need to adopt this program as the program that our town will follow. And it has in it fines for enforcement, it has inspection powers for the public works director. But it has to be formally, quote, adopted one way or the other as a policy or an ordinance.
But it suffices to adopt it as far as a policy.
As long as it's formally done.
As long as it's formally done. And who is responsible for inspections? Is that
Sarah.
It should be our internally public works, unless it's something that's assigned to Infomark, for example, in a contract revision or something. It is. So I had a question though for Tony. Do our meters have a black backflow preventer on them, built into them as part of the design system? Because I'm trying to figure out how consequential this adoption of this thing's gonna be for the citizens.
They do to a certain extent, but it's not infallible. So,
Does it meet the policy requirements of this cross-connection policy?
It probably depends on the hazard, if it's on the
yes,
hazard.
it depends on the hazard, because what you do is when you go and you send them the checklist, they will send it back to you, your customers, and then you go over it and determine the hazard. All right, you will also determine what is the hazard a 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, you'll give it a number, and then that will help you guide you to what needs to be done. And then you advise them that this is what needs to be done. You know? So
most homeowners, I'm not asking for it, but most homeowners generally are compliant.
They're compliant
under the current meter system that we have in place.
Yes.
So the vast majority, was that fair to say, are not gonna have to expend money, or the town's not gonna have to expend money.
That's right.
But if I have a swimming pool, or I have something unique or special, then I may need to acquire something else.
Yes.
In addition to my metering
In
system.
addition to your metering system.
And if I'm a commercial property, I may almost
Pretty much have to.
you would think.
Yeah. Mhm.
Uh,
And see, Virginia code, plumbing codes already cover the commercial end of it.
Right.
Fire suppression systems, all of that is already covered, all right? All you know, what you're doing is you're passing this ordinance and this plan and, gathering the information from everybody.